But yeah, I mean, I guess we're back. The Locally Unknown podcast. I haven't done this in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's been kind of weird. Got a new job, Fiesta Motors. I hate it. Well, I don't want to say I hate it because I'm just not good at selling.
So why'd you pick to go to Fiesta Motors?
They's really the only company that hired me.
Okay.
Because as you know, I was in the oil field before this, but I don't know if you knew. What are we in? 2016. September 10th, 2016. I'd got a DWI. February 2017. My company found out because I was still showing up like it was nothing had happened at work, and I was still showing up. They did like a DMV check on me in like February, and they let me go because they found out I had a suspended license, and that was like a month and a half before I was able to get it back, and I was like, oh
no.
But anyways, they let me go, and I mean, you can't find it's hard. I'll tell you, it's hard to find a job with the DWI.
Yeah. That's interesting that a car dealership, though, like...
Yeah, I think the only thing that helped me is that they're local. They're just local.
That would make sense. Hey, don't get me wrong. That's cool. I'm glad you got a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making some income, going on the grind, having something to do during your days. But it was like, DWI, I'm going to work for with cars.
Well, I think what helped me, because I had like... I've gotten accepted for jobs. Like I had a Sherwin-Williams, like a manager... assistant manager training or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Manager in training, I think was what it was called. And they didn't let me get it because I had a DWI.
Yeah. I
had a wind job that I didn't get because they were going to give me a personal vehicle to go back and forth to work. And they go back 5 years. I think Sherwin-Williams went back 3, which is weird because I was like, why do y'all are checking my DMV for Sherwin-Williams? But I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But this September will be 2 years, sadly. Well,
not
is
really.
It sadly?
It's over. It's fine. Yeah. Moving on. Tomorrow's another day.
It sucked, but...
Dude, I can't imagine. Yeah, I have some family members and some friends who've gone through that whole process, and I know a couple of people have even had Did you have to have the machine in your car?
No.
Okay, no. So I've known a couple of people who have had to do that, and it's...
Yeah, I have too. I mean, I've never seen it like in person, but I've heard about it.
Right. It's you know what? Here's a fun fact. I won't go into detail of the people, but it was on Mythbusters. Mythbusters tried one of those machines and a couple of different ones, seeing how they could illegally pass it.
Yeah.
And they said it was like, you couldn't pass, or you couldn't con into it. You couldn't cheat the system in a way to start your car. And I know of 2 people in particular, 2 different ways. One, it's cheating, and it actually goes on the system. All you have to do is put it in standard, or I mean, in
neutral.
Freaking neutral. Jeez, and then you just push it along, and it starts. But it'll read that you
like bypassed it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But the one way it doesn't read is, you can fill up some balloons, man. Fill up some balloons with oxygen and stuff.
Oh, wow. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, man. And you just put it on, and as it's going, it doesn't blow hard enough. So sometimes people can just get on the backside and just... Because sometimes they have a lock. So if you blow on the backside, it just... And it locks. But if you blow hard enough, like it kind of just shakes it, and then so it's blowing, but the oxygen from the balloon is coming in. Next thing you know... Like, no way.
Wow. That's impressive.
Purposely went, not me, the person in the story.
Yeah.
Purposely went in, like, took a couple shots of whiskey, had a couple beers.
Just as like an experiment?
Yeah, and then brushed his teeth, like took because even when you're sober, sometimes if you have too much mouthwash or whatever, sometimes you have to wait a little bit because the alcohol, even on mouthwash, can, you know what it, kind of make it, like not start.
Mm-hmm.
But they figured it out. Yeah.
Huh.
Not recommending it, just saying it's possible.
Yeah, I'm glad I never had to do that. But yeah, it sucked, man. But like I said, this job, I'm glad I got it. I hate it because the only reason I hate it is because I'm not good at it yet.
Yeah, yet. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that you say yet.
But I mean, I can't just quit on them. They're like the first company that actually,
like
gave me a chance.
come in, let's go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It
So I
is
mean,
awesome.
I'm not just gonna quit tomorrow, but
Dude, I feel like doing stuff like this, like podcasts and all that, do you feel like that can naturally, enhance your people skills and just... Because I know we've talked about you don't like the small talk and stuff, but other than, I guess, talking, well, you never really even told me, I didn't ask. What do you feel like, why aren't you a good salesman, or why aren't you...
mostly, I think I don't like talking about like the money part.
Okay.
And actually, what I've told a couple people is that it's hard because I come from, like I said, the oil field where when there's a problem, you can go out and fix it. Like you can go get parts to fix, a leak or whatever. But here, if maybe they don't have like enough money down or like their credit is just shot,
Yeah.
I can't help that. Like that's something I can't go fix, and that
Right.
kind of bothers me at times. But I mean, it is what it
interesting.
is.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is strange. Always, if I ever have to deal with, well, now I have to get used to it because Flatland is a retail shop.
Oh yeah.
So the constantly, I mean, I've never worked retail. I've never done anything like that. And then I've dabbled in like graphic design and then mainly graphic install.
Yeah.
Is what I've done for
What's graphic install?
do you know the city buses? They have wraps on them. You see Rager, you see tech, you see businesses and hotels and all sorts of stuff on the sides of city
Oh,
buses.
you do like the decals?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But those even specifically, I think I don't know if the company I'm contracted with, Delta, I don't necessarily think that we're going to do city bus. I think the contract right now, I don't know if he's renewing it. But anyways, I've done who knows how many of those. But
And graphic design, like, do you come up with the designs? Like,
sometimes,
Like on the
but I had to
computer and
learn
stuff?
but I'm not like a designer. I didn't go to school for it or anything. It was
You learn,
literally
like-
over the shoulder, or like someone teaching me how to like work the
Yeah.
printer and work like a little bit of like Illustrator and Photoshop, where I could get by on quick jobs. But I mean, if you want me to design a full wrap, I'm actually going to say no. Me personally,
Yeah.
because I could have an eye for it. I know what would look cool, but I have no idea where to even start.
yeah.
So
Yeah. But I mean,
I wouldn't necessarily call myself a designer. I've just
Yeah.
dabbled in it.
yeah, I mean, I would put graphic designer on a resume.
I've did.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
you've done it, but I mean, they don't know
not to
like
the
how deep you've
extent
been
of
in it.
yeah.
Like
for
I would
sure.
put salesman on mine.
It's fun. I
on
mean,
my
well, the whole
resume.
Flatland thing, like every post I do is, I'm just designing those. I'm just pulling out my photos and just typing information and just putting them in different squares and blocks and patterns and stuff and making certain words bigger. Like it's, just trying to switch it up where it looks like
Yeah.
I'm busy and doing stuff.
I
But,
think like retail would probably be easier
yeah.
because
Yeah.
everything's already a certain price. I mean, you don't have to. People got cash,
but it's
or
a record.
credit.
Yeah, but I sell mainly. I mean, used, like most of my inventory. If you're doing it by single, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like purchases, dude. I have thousands of items in, like my store, but they're negotiable because they're used.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things, like it's business. The more you get, the lesser it'll be and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
But it's interesting because I've never had to deal with, I've never had to...
like to negotiate.
Yeah, I've never had to negotiate. I've never had to be that. But it was my face and swiping the cards and taking in the cash. So people were coming up to me and saying like, oh, what about this? Hey, do you know? And like pulling out certain things where maybe a certain artist that I don't know, a certain album that I'm unfamiliar with, or something about vinyl all in all, because it's a learning process like everything, just about everything. You know what I mean? I'm constantly learning. But that was honestly an uncomfortable experience for sure. And every time was different. Like every time I go to First Friday, I'm still slightly nervous because it's like, dude, I'm not going to see the same people.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be around the same people because Casp and Studio 4 and all the musicians that we're going to be around, like that's a good crowd to be around, wave my hand and kind of feel comfortable. But it's always new customers, and you can get, dude, I've had some asshole customers come in, and it's just like, what's the matter with you?
I had a
like,
dude at Fiesta call one time, and he was like, hey, I need, like, just mad, irate. I need to speak to the president. I was like, what? It's like, and he was just like, you don't know who the president is? I was like, of the company? He's like, yeah, you don't know who it is? I was like, no, not really. Like, I've never met him. And he was just like, well, who do you talk to get stuff done? I was like, well, our manager here at this location. Well, let me talk to him. I go, okay. And I just transferred him over, and I don't know what he was mad about, but I was like, I'm not going to just dump that on, like, the president's desk. No, like.
Yeah.
I mean, even.
Whoa.
I don't even, like.
That's intense.
Think, like.
And wait, did you find out what he wanted, why he was there, while he was being there?
I think his car had messed up or something, but, I mean, I can't remember. But yeah, like, I was like, I'm not going to push. I mean, we can't. I don't even think we have a number to transfer people to the president or whatever, but I was like, no, like, it's not something the president should have to deal with anyways. Mm-hmm. He probably has more pressing
absolutely than
stuff.
Some customer that, on his high horse thinking that I am the most important customer.
So what's like the worst question you've ever been asked?
So I'm trying to fix this.
Oh, you're fine.
I think it's all right, audience.
Oh, I should probably. There you go. There, he's tightening up the mic stand. Yeah, you probably have to tighten it pretty hard. Is it?
I think.
Is it staying? Is it staying?
Oh, it's yeah.
All right, let me turn it back up.
Good. Hey,
there we go.
Hello. Sorry about that. The worst question that I've got.
Because you've probably been hit with like some impressive, like smart, thought out questions, but you've probably been also hit with like the dumbest, like,
right?
Why are these round or something?
Oh, questions like that.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just either one.
I'm trying to really think. It's not really the questions. I haven't really gotten dumb questions. I'll kind of reword the question if that's okay. It's not a thing about them asking a certain thing, but them having no idea that you can buy modern music right now, no matter what you're listening to, like the Eminem album that just dropped. In a couple of weeks, like, I'll be able to have that on vinyl, And a lot of people think it's just old school, and then they flip through the new section. And I'm like, well, one, we've had a record store in Ralph's that is already, like, it has a great selection, and they have new press stuff. And you go in there, and I was so surprised at some of the stuff they had. They had, like, Sticky Fingers and DMAs and stuff, like, all weird alternative, like, rock stuff from Australia. It's like, no one knows that. But it was really cool to find stuff like that, and it's like, but other people have no idea. They think of vinyl, and they think of something super, you know what I mean?
Like just old, like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Dude, and maybe like even older, like classical, like a lot of older, even people get weirded out that they would like, that you could find like even, well, no.
Because everything's
but 90s,
now,
pretty much anything from 80s and before, I would say. Yeah.
Everything's streamed now, and everybody's like, "Oh, I mean, I can just get that on the phone." I was like,
"Right."
You can get
and see, I'm a fan, but
phone.
I'm not against that at all. Dude, I am such a fan of Spotify and iTunes. That's how I've found and kept up with the slew of bands that I have that are so, like, even underground, that aren't even out yet, that are releasing their own stuff because it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And it started out with SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Those two apps, definitely. If you want to find some really underground artists, like some weird 16-year-olds that are trying to experiment with some electronic stuff or hip-hop or some weird-ass garage punk band, you can find them on those apps for sure because they're just doing it from home. But,
yeah,
dude, I'm all for the apps. I'm all for the technology and stuff because it's that much better. You can get more content out there. But in a business perspective, I actually am confused sometimes. Sometimes I think it's awesome. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know.
Why are you confused?
Because I sway both ways. I see both ways. How about that? So I don't know. Well, how about that? I don't really have a side. I see the pros and cons in both. Have like the exponential growth and the intensity that streaming has, but then kind of dying it back to just like the, you know what I mean, the handheld, like record or a CD, even just anything, you know what I mean, like physical that you can hold and
like a
play
old,
anytime.
Like to us, probably like cassette or
Right.
like a CD or probably like our vinyl records and 8 tracks.
See, I thought about a bit of like if the world ends, what's really important, right? Like what could you do? I could find a way to listen to music without my phone.
Oh yeah.
Like if you have, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's why I have the record store. If the world ends pretty soon, I'm just going to camp out in my trailer and jam out.
I mean, until you get hungry, probably.
Oh, well, of course, but you got to have something to do.
somewhere.
I think that's the worst thing that would happen. If there was no way, and that's not like a cheesy, weird thing. I'm being honest when I say if I didn't have jams, like when the world ends, or if I was in an apocalyptic situation or post, like, dude, I got to play, I got to listen, I got to do something. I'm going crazy listening to these people talk.
Do you listen to... Well, I know you listen to Joe Rogan.
Right.
Who else do you listen to?
I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to he's been slacking on the podcast, but his YouTube channel's good. But lectures and stuff from Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't think
he is a Canadian psychologist, and he is a genius. But dude, I don't even know how to explain him. But he's just articulate. He is so good at not really debating, but just trying to get to universal truths and positivities and making people, live better lives type of scenarios. But it's interesting because he's so smart and he's so scientific, but he has not even a religious background, but that's the backbone. He says it's like we should live our life, whether there is a God or not, we should live like there is one at least, type of thing. But he goes so much deep. Like that's the most surface level you could say to try to describe him. Like he's a genius, man. But he's really cool to listen to. When I started listening to him a little bit more, like I just stop. And I'm just like, whoa.
You just like zone out and listen to him?
Yeah, that's definitely what I've been into. Stuff like that. And then honestly, I've been listening to a lot of like some weird, I don't know, like My Favorite Murder.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so stuff like that, but then there's
like
one called
ones?
Well, there's storytelling ones, and they talk about like weird stuff, like weird sex cults or crazy kidnappings and all sorts of like crazy crimes. Some are solved, some are not, and it's just an open conversation about them. Because there's that one and another one that I can't remember, but one of my buddies showed me, and it was pretty interesting. But I've been really getting into researching stuff on psilocybin and stuff.
I have no idea what that is.
Psilocybin is the chemical on shrooms that make you hallucinate, and trip and stuff like that. But I've been listening to all the positivities and how Johns Hopkins Hospital has tested, over 700 patients now, seen nothing but exponential, beautiful growth in people. So when I started hearing that, because I had never tried it before.
Yeah.
And I started really getting into this research and because I feel like in a weird way, kind of I'm staggering on, but there's a purpose to it, I guess. So stay with me. I feel like I've always had anxiety problems, and on occasions it kind of fluctuates through years. I've been solid for a while because of just been trying to take care of myself.
Yeah.
But growing up, I just feel like there's always been a heaviness, maybe a little depression, always unsure, always questioning things, but then not having confidence in my questions. And so, that kind of lonely type of thing. And then I got into hey, maybe I need to go to the doctor, get some antidepressants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tried that. It was absolutely horrible. The first time I ever had a panic attack or an anxiety, episode was literally on while I was taking medication. I was like, no, I literally flushed him. I was like, what in the world is going on here? No. So I got rid of that. But then here recently, I just started looking up alternative ways, what I mean, to really kind of ease your mind and get into that. And so started researching stuff like yoga was the first thing that popped up. But then it got into the sensory deprivation tank. We have
one here in Lubbock.
Yeah, I've
Or
tried
like
it.
a place
I've tried
that
it
does it.
probably every bit of like 10 to 12 times.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Whoa.
Does it like
Dude,
actually make you
I can honestly say it is just one of, not a crazy thing, but it is one of the components that made me want to be a better me, put things in perspective. I can tell you about I guess like the, experience, but just afterwards, you just feel clear. Like afterwards, it's like a breath of fresh air. I can see the world in, like a new light and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, during it is crazy. But it was just stuff like that I started. But then I've been researching stuff on psilocybin and all that because people are just trying to find alternative ways to heal our brains, heal our mental health, you know what I mean, gain cognitive function, you know what I mean, just really push the hippocampus to levels that, you know what I mean, that we really have never tried before.
I've always wanted to do a deprivation tank.
I think you should. I think everyone should. I think it could benefit literally everyone, anyone and everyone, except one person maybe. Not literally one person, but one universal person. Like if they have maybe like natural scoliosis, so when you're in the tank, it naturally wants to align your back. So people who have always had scoliosis have been like, well, I'm normal. I can keep my posture. But my spine naturally is slightly, you know what I mean, like has a curve to it or something. Some is worse than the others, I guess. But in there, I know of a couple people who have it, and it's tried to align their back. And they said when they got out of it that their back was sore.
Really?
Yeah, because, dude, it's, if you don't know about it, it's body temperatured water with 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt. So no matter how big you are, you can be 650 pounds. You can float. You will float. And then it doesn't feel like anything eventually. And then you have the option. You can just turn off that light. Boom. No sound, no sight, no feeling. You are immediately when people call that Zen state when they do yoga. Mm-hmm. That's what it immediately puts you in, whether you like it or not. You were just there.
Dude, that would be legit.
Dude, it's fun. I've never not done 2 hours. It was one of those anxiety episodes that I had, and I had been researching it, and so I said, dude, I got to do it. I got to go over there. And he was like, you want to try a 30-minute session, hour session? No, I want to go for 2. Are you sure? Yeah, I want to go for 2. And went in there, dude, and I got out, and I literally cried in front of that guy. Dude, I was like, that was better than any therapy session and any, anti-anxiety medication that I've ever had. I was like, thank you. I will be back.
How did we get on this?
Dude, I'm just
I remember talking about Eminem, and then next thing I know...
You asked me what podcast I was listening to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's why I was trying to go back. I've been listening to just researching random shit.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the shrooms.
That's what I'm saying. The psilocybin stuff. Yeah.
I was in college.
Just stuff like that.
It's just what it was called.
No, you're all good.
But yeah, I was because I started thinking how do we get on sensory deprivation?
No, we're good.
But I have always wanted to try. Ever since I seen it on.
You wanted to try shrooms?
No, the sensory deprivation. Although movies make shrooms. Look like it would be a pretty cool, fun trip, though.
Man, from what I've been told, go walk around, enjoy yourself, paint, something like that. You're, dude, all the receptors and crazy, things are blowing off in your brain in a positive way. And I don't know, I feel like some people could probably have a fun experience, watching something. But I would personally say that the majority of people would enjoy themselves if they were dude, no technology whatsoever, go camping. Do it in a smart way. I'm not saying this. You should probably go to John Hopkins or a hospital, and if you really want to try it and do a controlled setting, because people have been doing that now for the past couple years. And the FDA just approved it for mental health.
Really?
Yeah, a couple days ago. It had to be within this week. It's not legal, but still, you know what I mean?
The it's FDA on its way. Look at weed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. Both of them. I don't know. I don't think really can get great. get any more crazy than that. Like that, like those are natural, growing things, and they both have been proven to have positive benefits on people. But like, I wouldn't necessarily like keep pushing the boundary.
They're not. Have they like done like weed? Because I watched something on weed that how they can't trace weed back to its origins because there's been so many hybrids and so many like this weed mixed with this weed, like just mixtures.
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's found worldwide, and there's some wild plants, cannabis plants that grow in like in the middle of Africa. It's like so hot, and people don't even live there. That people have tried to like go discover, go find, and like even it's like legends and stuff within cultures and communities and certain tribes and stuff. So it's everywhere, and so I'm curious. I mean, I'm sure it's going to keep going. But the whole thing about mushrooms, like, dude, it's bacteria, it's fungi. Like, that's literally what, I mean, it's literally what made us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going back from the very beginning, you know what I mean? To where it was just land, a body of water, creates moss, creates that, you know what I mean? That bacteria that grows into something over billions of years, So like Paul Stamets, he's a scientist on on fungi, bacteria, and all that, and that he explained it in such a easier way than I could because I'm an idiot and I don't know anything. I just repeat things that smart people say.
Yeah, and then they're like, "What?" And like, I don't know, I forgot. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, you need to make the parabola wider. They're like, what? I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about.
You know what I mean.
So, man, what have you been? I hadn't seen you since the last podcast. What have you been up to?
Dude, I've been working. I've been hanging out. Went to a couple. I went to a friend's wedding in Carlsbad. Had a couple pop-ups.
I've been seeing those. I see you share them on Facebook more.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'll selfishly plug. Flatland is having a pop-up tomorrow, first Friday. Well, will this be recorded by then? Will this be on?
It'll be tomorrow at noon.
I have a pop-up today.
Yeah.
I'll say today. No, at down at CASP in the art district. It's going to be awesome. Food trucks, all craziness.
Oh, you do the art trail?
I do the art trail, man.
Really?
I'll be down there. Yeah, go down there, dude. It'll be fun if you have time.
I went once.
Dude, it's well, when did you go?
What are we in? August? September. It was probably February, March, maybe like before a month or two before summer. Maybe
Okay.
April-ish, maybe.
So yeah, you've been around where it's popping. Because I feel like even a year ago, it wasn't where it was at.
I've never been to one before, and it was new. They had like 4 or 5 food trucks there or something. I know they had like one. I can't remember what I ate. I think they had like one Asian place that was pretty good that I remember. But I mean, I don't know. I go look at it's just paintings on walls. Is really what it was to me.
Yeah,
that's all I understood it as.
I'm
not a painter, so
no. I hear you. Yeah, I love the community aspect of it, of just like, hey, let's go do something that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do the same thing over and over, of like just eat and drink in Lubbock. You know what I mean? Like, you got 4, but how many times are you going to go to 4?
Yeah.
How many times? Adventure Park, actually right down the street. That's going to be kind of fun. But, just having a community thing of like Lubbock, like a lot of people go. There's bodies everywhere. No one's getting crazy. Some people have some alcohol in them, I'm sure. It's you just do your thing. You see some art, you see musicians, you eat great food. Yeah. And that's why I like it, is because I don't understand art at all. I look at something on the wall and I have no idea. But at the same time, I can acknowledge the fact of like, well, I mean, these people get it. I'm either lonely or I'm the idiot. But
I always think like, I think if I were to see the Mona Lisa before it was like super duper famous.
Right.
And popular, I'd be like, that's a cool painting.
I
couldn't do that, but I mean.
So who painted
Leonardo,
the Mona Lisa? Right.
Right? Da Vinci.
Oh, man, we're dumb, see?
Dang it, hold on.
Look it up, dude. What I'm saying is
I
apparently.
think Leonardo and Da Vinci are the same person, I think. Because I think it's Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci.
Dude, we're down.
I feel down. I was like, was it Leonardo or da Vinci?
I'm laughing at myself. Oh my gosh.
But
yes. Anyways, the rumor is, was like, I don't know, conspiracy rumor, whatever, that he actually painted himself dressed in drag.
really?
That's who Mona Lisa is. That's the rumor I heard.
Huh. That's weird.
Is it?
What I want to know is like, I bet they did like a ton of like weird stuff back in the day,
Dude.
that we will never even like fathom now, because like the way we are socially, because I think,
Yeah, man. Dude, we did some weird stuff back in the day.
I don't know about we. I don't know what's we.
I'm saying we, yeah, universal.
culture?
We, yeah, as
Yeah.
people in general. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it's just weird to think like at some point, in a way, like we were all, kind of came from one thing, regardless of belief, and then it spread out. Freaking countries literally separated, bodies of water miles apart. Like, but in a way, we're all still connected. But then now we're all mixing up and stuff like that. But then educating ourselves and realizing what happened in the past and seeing what our ancestors did from primal times to, I mean, even just 1,000 years ago. Dude, there's some weird shit that goes on recently.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, even 100 years, there's some weird shit that's going on.
What weird stuff going on now?
That's also very true.
Like now, I think it's weird how
What's one thing? Name me one.
Everybody's like, hey, I remember growing up and they're like, hey, keep your head up, look up. And now I look around, everybody's head's down.
Interesting.
And they're all looking at their phones.
Okay.
And that's like, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to say it's super weird because I do that sometimes too, but it's weird that nobody, I don't know. It's not really weird, I guess, because I'm introverted, but like nobody talks to people and nobody. Here's what frustrates me.
Yes, here we go.
This has really, I don't know if it's weird or not, but nobody says like ma'am or sir.
Well,
And
I
nobody
think
says,
nobody
"Excuse
is
me,"
a
anymore.
generation though, Domingo.
Go to Walmart, see if anybody says, hey, excuse me, sir.
That's Walmart. You're going to Walmart.
No, well,
You're going to Walmart.
Well,
and
yeah, but
judging
still.
everyone on people.
but still, it's not just one.
Which Walmart?
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like it's not just one like race of people or like height of people or just gender. It doesn't matter. You can get cut off by like an 84-year-old man pushing a cart that won't say, hey, excuse me, sorry, sir, or going down to Broadway. I hate that place.
Dude,
I
that is one of the
hate that
worst
place.
places. And I have friends and even like, okay, no, I won't go too in detail of who it is. But I just know people that love Broadway.
I mean, I like it too.
No, you don't.
But I hate. I like it, but I hate going there.
Yeah. Okay, so I definitely have had bad experiences there, and I always feel tension. Always. Ever since I was... That's not that many. You know what I'm saying. All the years, whatever. But just a lot of encounters that I had, it was either other people getting into arguments, getting into fights, or you just see this heaviness of like men just kind of just...
Yeah, like everybody tries to... Everybody tries to be big and bad. And I'm like, dude, we're all just trying to have like a good time. Like nobody needs to get mad at each other.
That's why I love dive bars. Dude, I can go to the garden. It's not really a dive bar. It's open, but it's friendly. People are playing games. There's live music going on. It's outside. Enjoy the weather. Take your time. But then I go to Flipper's Tavern. Flipper's Tavern is amazing. Great food. But it just seems like awesomely dimly lit. They have pinballs for God. Like it's just... You know what I mean? It's just
I haven't been
out.
there in a while, but
Dude,
I
it's
love
great.
that place.
It's such a great place to hang out. You can take your dog. Dude, and they throw on the sickest festivals. They're the ones who gave Flatland Records their debut, you know what I mean, of like pop-up. Like, dude, I love Flippers. Everyone should go to Flippers. Lantern? I don't mind going there anyways. That's kind of divey.
Where's that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lantern
Down
Tavern?
Slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been... Last time I was there a long time ago. I was on the patio, took my dog there. It rained, it flooded, and I had to go home. It was a short night.
Fair enough.
Have you ever been to? It used to be the old. It was O'Reilly's pub.
Dude, I never went there. Irish pub, O'Reilly's. Yeah. Never went.
I've been there once when it was O'Reilly's. That's okay, but I've been there quite a few times now that there's new owners. Mm-hmm. And they changed it to the name to Shotzi's. They have great food.
Say it again.
Shotzi's.
Oh,
I don't know how to spell it.
Oh,
don't ask me how to spell it. But it's actually like 2 stores down from Ralph's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, 2.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But they got great food.
Yeah.
The bartenders there are cool. I pretty much know all of them. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Silver Bullet?
Yeah, I've been to Silver Bullet.
I
got some family.
You got family that works there?
No, not works there, but practically they go there a lot.
Oh, I mean, I do too sometimes. But
y'all know who y'all are.
Most of the bartenders that work there now work at Shotzi's.
Interesting.
And it's
the
a
Bullet,
great place.
Man.
I haven't been there in a while.
Silver Bullet.
That place was great. Had some good times there.
I've heard great times.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard really rough times. A place that I don't. Okay, well, it comes back to I don't like dancing. Also,
yeah,
never been a dancing thing. I mean, growing up with like going to quinceañeras and stuff like that. Like it's a dancing culture on both sides of. I say both sides. Like I'm saying, like from my dad's culture to mom's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone likes to dance and stuff. It never was me, and I would always feel tension at a dance.
I'd always get anxiety because I didn't want anybody to ask me to dance.
Please don't, please.
Which I think the girls usually wait to get asked, but I was like, please, because you'd always have those girlfriends like, hey, you want to go dance? I'm like, oh, not really.
Like I drum, I have rhythm, but also I can step, 2 steps this way, 1 step that way.
I can 2-step.
And occasionally, well, I'm saying even on that, like occasionally throw a spin. But dude, I'm not doing anything crazy. But I'm still anxious for the 3 minutes and 30 seconds that song is going on. I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I'm gonna start breathing heavily. My palms are probably gonna get sweaty on their back.
I get nervous.
Like I'm just gonna start. I'm going to start making jokes because we're not doing anything. We're not having any conversation. We're just moving our bodies. Yeah.
For me, it's always like, I'll go dance, but it's always too loud to have a conversation, and then you're just yelling at the other person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need that. No, that's overrated. But I hate dancing. No, I don't want to say I hate it. It's fun, but it's
not fun. It's
not for me.
It's definitely not for me, and that's why I respect it. But also, I mean, if say I'm dating someone now likes to dance, sometimes occasionally. You know what I mean? Because there's a different type of dancing, too. And, say you're dating someone, they like all forms of dancing. They like to dance to, the 2-step and stuff like that. But, oh, wait. Step into, like, the hip-hop culture and that dance culture where you're just like, uh-oh, that bump and grind.
All you got to do is...
Nah, man, you just stand there. But no. No, I can't do it. It's still...
Back in the day, it was just stand there. Now I think you're supposed to put in a little bit of work.
Yeah, you can't just... Yeah, that's the point. But still, it's just like, nah, not my thing. But I still feel bad because I'm like, I'll go with you.
Where do y'all usually go?
Well, we don't. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I'm going to tell her to ask you.
The last place I went to that had... Well, no, that's a definite lie.
You ain't got no chances?
Dude, I don't like Chances Are. Okay. Do not like it.
Okay, what's another? Charlie B's?
No, won't go.
I had a quick.
Dude, I'm sure the establishment's fine, but I'm just not a dancing person.
But there's like always fights there.
That's what I'm saying. I went. Well, dude, the last and only time I ever went to, not the only time I went. I've gone to Chances Are maybe 3 times in my life. All 3 of them have been on birthdays. The last time I went there, it was kind of funny too because I was with a crowd of people. It was my sister's birthday, her husband, their 2 friends, then me. Just like nothing to do. Yeah, I'll go out with y'all with my sister and shit. Like I don't hang out with her much,
Yeah.
And we went to Chances Are, started dancing, laughing. I was like, but like I wasn't really dancing. I was just joking around, like act like I was about to. and then I just go back. You know, like, no, I'm kidding.
I used to do that in high school.
But we were joking around because, like, I was with two big old Mexicans. Like, they were just, you know, looked intimidating. One of them, tattooed neck, like, sweetest dudes in the world. But I was just glad I was with them because I'm like, I'm going into a place I know I don't like anyways. I don't like the crowd. And, like, just walking in with these two boys behind me, like, what's up, dude? Like, I'm down. But, no, we're hanging out and we laugh. I was like, y'all are my bodyguards. Make sure nothing happens to me. Kidding. But then my friend, who actually is my roommate now, he lived in an apartment right on the other side of the, like, that highway, like the loop.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, dude, it's right there. I'm going to give him a call.
It's like Savannah Oaks or something?
I forgot what it was.
It's like
Dominion, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right down 50th, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, I'm going to go there. I'm going to walk. It's safer. I'm going to walk over there.
It's a long-ass walk.
I mean, at the time, I thought it wasn't that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I'm going to walk over there. Right when I step out, I'm walking and step into the concrete. I hear, what'd you say to me? Definitely didn't. Definitely didn't think he was talking to me.
I don't remember saying anything.
And so I literally see him just like, boom, 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 just do it like speed walking towards me. He was like, yeah, I heard you say. I was like, oh, no, this is not happening. Like, I left my crowd of people because I wanted to go, you know, I was just going to hang out at just different location, being safe. I'm going to walk, enjoy myself. I've done it numerous times. Dude, and then this guy, and I got into a little tussle outside Chances Are. I was like, no, never again. I'm not going to Chances.
Man, I don't think I've ever had anything happen at Chances. But
it wasn't fun.
I always like either get like super bored. And it's not because like the people I'm hanging with, it's just that's not my scene, so I kind of like stand, especially if I have to work the next day.
I get tired fast. There's a lot of my emotions and everything just high because
like you get like hyper anxiety, and you're just
dude.
Like,
of course you do.
But yeah,
some people like it. Some people like that. I'm letting go, you know, and they get wild and they start yelling, "Yeah, bitches!" You know, getting crazy. It's just not for me.
And I don't want to say I've never had fun. I've had a ton of fun there a couple times, or I don't want to say just a couple, but you know, but there are those times where like. Maybe you just got off of work and like you're just tired and you kind of really didn't want to do anything. And no, I'm good. And you kind of just go and you're just like it's fun, but it's like you kind of just want to like be in bed asleep, or just chilling. Yeah. But
what do you like to do? What's your chilling?
My chilling? Am I with a group of people or am I just like by myself?
Well.
And because
it's up to you.
Because it depends. Like if the next day, do I have to work the next day?
Okay, I like where you're going. You know what? I'm saying chilling. You're by yourself on a weekend. You have no work. Like the next day, that day. Okay, a non-work day and you don't have no plans and you're by yourself. You wake up at what time do you usually wake up?
I mean,
on a day off.
Maybe about 10, 11ish.
So,
depending.
For real, you gotta wake up earlier.
Well. I mean, it just kind of depends. Like, I may wake up...
Were you drunk the night before?
No, I mean, if I... Well, no, because if I get drunk the night before, I'll probably wake up like 7 or 8, and I just can't fall back to sleep.
Really? You wake up earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. That was definitely a thing I did. No, because I wake up early. I'm not... If I sleep past, honestly, like 9:30,
But me, like, if I'm off, like, I'll wake up like maybe... 8:39ish, like even if I don't get drunk the night before, but I'll just like lay there, and I'll have my dogs next to me, and I'll just be chilling. Maybe put on a movie for like 30 minutes, and then just fall back to sleep, wake up, and then.
Oh, okay, I dig it.
So I don't like sleep until then.
Are you a morning person?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, like you're not afraid to pop a joke or make some laughs.
Oh no,
not like that.
It probably takes me.
Well, not like
30,
campers. 40. Let's go, like really goofy, like trying to get at it. But you know what I mean.
No, it probably takes me like a good. I would say about half an hour to an hour to actually fully wake up and just start making jokes. But by that time, I'm already showered and
right.
That's me just waking up, getting ready for the day.
Dude, I'm a person that I can be woke like someone comes to my bedside. Christian, hey, wake up. What's happening? Dude, check this out. And they tell me a funny story or a joke. not mad about it. We'll totally. So anytime I mean, we're all young. We're hanging out, living with numerous roommates, throughout the years.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of them had working like bar shifts, stuff like that. So coming in at like 4 o'clock because they just got off their shift at 2. They want to hang out a little bit with their friends, their coworkers. And then, like say they Uber home or something like at 4 a.m. Like I'm obviously I'm asleep. It's 4. But if I hear them wake up, I'm not afraid to wake up and just, hey, what's up?
That for me, it just kind of depends.
Okay.
Like if someone's like, hey, wake up, we got to go, or like we got to do something.
Yeah.
I wake up annoyed because I'm like, do not rush me. Like, I'll wake up, I'll wake myself up, say if I got to be somewhere by 8, I'll wake up 6:45. Give me enough time to be lazy, 15, 20 minutes, get ready, and then get to where I'm going. Like, sense. So I can take time. I hate being rushed. So if like there's a birthday at like a birthday party at like maybe 9, and then you don't tell me until like 8:45, and they're like, hey, hurry, we got to go. I'm like, that's not my fault. Like, you're the one that told me late.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to rush because you told me late.
Saying. Of course.
But like, I just hate being rushed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever see me walk around. Like, I just kind of take my time.
Right.
Like, I'm just a slow walker.
You're a very mellow person.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very comfortable. Thank you for being you.
No, I mean, I do what I can. I try to keep it 100.
I see.
That was not, I know, I was like, okay. All right. So,
yes.
How's the Flatline Records going?
Dude, it's good. We're helping host our first event in Lubbock next Friday. And I'm nervous. I'm excited mainly. Nervous, good excited. It's good excited. Or good nervous, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Just mainly because you have no idea. We have 2 food trucks. We have native cuisine. We have Krusty's Pizza. Oh my God, so good.
Are they good? I don't know if I've ever heard of Krusty's Pizza.
It's dope. So we have those 2 food trucks, and then the library. We have them doing their cash bar there. Obviously, the Flatland Records will be pulled up. We'll have 5 bands playing, local bands. Great.
Are you gonna be inside the library?
No. This is an event going on in the art district, like on 5th and J. There's a studio that looks like an old gas station, and it has like the overhead of, whatever in the lights and the pillars. Yeah. The bands will be there, and if you know what I'm talking about on 5th and J, the studio has like glass garage doors. Oh, and next to that is a building that has a blue wall that says Lubbock.
I think I've been there. Okay. Or, I mean, if it's part of the
it's part of that art district, like all that. Yeah,
I've probably seen
now, it. If you still don't know, if I'm looking across the street from there, you see the stage in that foyer, but we're not going to be over there. Or not the foyer, like gazebo type of things, in a building that has almost like a like skeletons looks, honestly, like sometimes Day of the Dead type of like art, but yeah, anyways, it's going to be over there. Cash bar popping up, 2 food trucks, 5 live bands. There's going to be some artists. I'm pretty sure going to have some prints out there. And, dude, it'll just be a fun time. Just go out there, have some beers, enjoy some local bands. You know what I mean? Try to push that aspect. Like, that's the main thing on my end. The event itself is fun, but I want to maintain the goal and the aspect of pushing like local music and creating, making Lubbock not so much like, oh, we're known by Buddy Holly and then Texas country and artists coming out of here, which is totally fine, but it's like, let's push the boundaries just a hair more, because I feel like there was great bands that grew up in the early 2000s that were like on the cusp of something great, but nothing really pushed. There's great individual musicians that have come out of South Plains and stuff like that. But I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, like start here, grind here, house shows, bar scene, like make your way. Like, whoa, you did something. You know what I mean? But it all starts with us, Yeah. Like as the community. So yeah, we have some local bands. We're trying to just jam out, hang out, have a good time.
Sounds fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope it is.
Nope.
It's cool. It's on Friday. It's on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on 5th and J. Plug it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm going to be posting about it and just like trying to push it. You know what I mean? As much as I can. Hand out flyers and stuff. But yeah, I would really like that word to be spread because the main thing is it has nothing to do with like cash. It just I really want, you know what I mean? I want to be able to look back, just step out of my body for a second, like I'm, aerial view over and just being like, people are having fun, you know what I mean? And you you had just a hair part of it, you know what I mean?
That's a cool moment to be a part of.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. That's what really I want. Is.
And I've never felt that until I started doing the audio for Church on the Rock.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
And like the Dream Center, and you can hear like the crowd singing along with the worship, and like I'll just kind of go off to the side and I'll just like put my back towards the performers and just look out at the crowd, and they're just singing with their hands up and stuff. I was like, this is freaking cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, hey, will you be working this coming up Sunday?
What's the Sunday? That's the 9th, maybe somewhere around there. 6, 7, 8. No, yeah, I work in a
and is it all day? Like
I get there at 7:30, and usually the last service ends around 1.
So you work both service or all three, whatever they have.
It's just 2, I believe.
Okay, so the 11:15, 11:30 one
at the Dream Center.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Really?
Yeah, it's my mom's birthday, and that's one of the only things she asks.
Go
to church.
Is she gonna do the baptism? I think they're doing
no, she's actually gonna be greeting, so she has to go a little earlier than us.
Oh, that's not fun. Well, just being there super early, I hate that part.
Yeah, she just has to greet people, and then
have I met her?
Dude, honestly, you've definitely probably met her. Her and her 2 friends, Jamie and Shanna. She has a billion friends in that church, but like the main 2 that I go to, well, Lisa, naming all my mom's friends. They're like my other moms, pretty much. You might as well call them that. But
I have a couple moms like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I probably have met her. What's her name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte? I don't know. I usually kind of just go do the whole audio thing, and then I kind of stay down, or like I'll go up to the soundboard and kind of mingle with like the other AV people, and then I kind of just stay down and listen and make sure everything's running good. And
that makes sense. Do you listen to what's being said?
Yeah, actually I do. When they do the sermon, when Pastor Josh does the sermon and stuff.
Hey, hopefully Pastor Josh, because I think
like he's doing it this weekend.
Okay, cool. Because like we've talked about, I don't really go very often, if at all. But the last couple of times that I have gone to the Dream Center, it's been with Pastor Josh. Dude, he's
great.
He knows what's up, man.
He's like
he'll fire me up. Let's go. Like, I just want to live live.
he's like the nicest dude ever too.
And he's cool.
And his daughter's funny.
Yeah, I think he used to, when he came here the first time, I thought it was so awesome because he surprised people. I was actually amongst, I guess you could say, like the congregation in a way, like when he was fresh there years ago. And it was cool because the Dream Center was fresh too.
Yeah.
So you had like this dynamic of, they help out like homeless, and they help out, the kind of surrounding housing and neighborhoods, you know what I mean? Which might not necessarily be the greatest, stuff just, statistically, this shit goes on over there.
Yeah.
And he would talk and stuff, and people like would be standoffish. You could tell some people were just walking in there because I want a fucking meal. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm pissed. Like I'll go in this building that they said come by on Sunday, and they do, and you immediately are looking at this guy. Like I get, you got to relate to these people, and you can tell them they're sitting there. People are standing up, they don't stand up. Like people or whatever, they're standing in the back. You want to take a seat? No. Like, they're just straightforward. But then they see this guy, which I'm talking about Pastor Josh, talk about God, and, doing whatever he has to say and do. But he puts it in a relatable way, but then boom, he starts speaking like Spanish and stuff.
For the longest, fluently. I thought he was just white.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You see this.
Then he says his name, Pastor Josh Ramirez.
Right.
Like, holy hold up. I didn't know he was Mexican.
Right.
Talking about tortillas and then his
man.
wife. I'm like, oh, hold up.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like say, just kind of beating around the bush. Like, you have these people who kind of might have this dogma or this surrounding idea that, you know, that color might have, like, color of skin, you know, means something, like in a negative or positive or whatever way. And so they look at a man who's preaching about like God or something, and he's a white man, and the next thing you know, he's like talking about positivity, blah blah blah, and then boom, busts out his Spanish, but everything he says is relatable. And I could see some grins on certain people just going,
I know he's got me.
Guy.
He's got me to, he's got me to laugh quite a bit.
Yeah, dude, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I like him. He's funny. He's
good family, nice family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's done
Great
some
guy.
good things. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't guess I know. I don't know if Justice is like the only daughter. That's the only one I've ever met and talked to.
I don't know. I think there's a brother.
I know. Actually, I am lying. She's told me that they have others. She has other siblings and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Dude, again, I don't know how weird can we get on this podcast? Like
I mean, it just
is it personal?
How weird did you want to get?
Well, I was gonna tell a story that I respected Josh again. It was a story that I had when I used to go to church and stuff. I had an encounter with him, and I thought it was interesting.
Go for it.
Okay. It was interesting. It was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and we were at Church on the Rock, and they got this like, dude, even evangelical, really spontaneous, outgoing preacher to just come, like one of those who waves their jacket and thinks that the Holy Spirit is coming off the fucking whip of it, like just real crazy out there.
Yeah.
Well, he was like asking people to like come up, and it started getting intense. People started falling down.
Okay.
I mean, with my automatic, like, being in the congregation, like, being a part of the church, the immediate thought was, like, okay, this is maybe real. Like, I guess we're going to see. Like, I can't question anything, you know? Like, I'm going to just go along with this. And it kept going and going, and I looked at my friend who I was with, and we both were like just looking at each other like we don't feel it. Like we felt like on a spiritual high at that moment too. Like not in the moment, but I'm saying like
just to be part of that.
No. Like we were on like biblical studies, getting ready to do mission trips, like doing just in it. We were just driving like wanting to, spread that like good word. Yeah. We were in that lifestyle and it was just like awesome. Everything was in tune. Like, I know I can not deny my mindset, in that moment. But we went to this thing, and me and him were just on.
Was it like a Sunday morning, or?
No, it was like a random, probably Friday or Saturday.
Well, they did like their own, like,
well, like it was
event?
actually like a Friday and a Saturday. Like, they had 2 different services. But, dude, it was all freaking money and, like, crazy. Dude, it was nuts. People like putting their hands on their heads and just like shaking them and then like
getting healed,
just
like
falling,
TV
stuff like that. And I remember he called numerous people there, and I was told like, hey, if this is real, it's real. Trust me. I was told by Josh that if it's real, like, trust me, he's felt that in a way. He explained to me he's felt that spiritual, in a way, like, connection where it's like, in my words, if God wants to put you on your ass, he'll put you on your ass type of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how he kind of explained it. And he went up there, and, dude, people just started rocking. Like, this random preacher that they, got for the weekend for fun, I guess, started just boom, boom, like, just saying Holy Ghost and started saying shit, and then boom, like knocking down like flies. They're just God. And then they got to Josh, and he put his hand on there, and he just stood there, and he started, like, he was praying. He had his hands out, and he was just praying to himself, hands on there, shaking, nothing. He just moved, and I was like, because I believed, like, hey, he's honest. Like, he won't just fall for the he won't just do it. But he's an honest person. Yeah. He's a very honest person, no matter what. We can disagree on things, but I can say he's an honest person. And he's just sat there to himself. And he goes, and I remember that guy saying, funny preacher, man, and just moved on to the next one. Boom, knocked down, knocked down, knocked down. And I was just like sat there, and then me and my buddy who I was with, we just kind of looked at each other, and it was almost devastating, like, because we knew, like, he's not going to lie. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't get, what? God doesn't want him to go down like everyone else. You know what I mean? It was just in the moment very, very strange. But I always had a high respect for him because that was one of the things that just one encounter that I kind of clicked off. Like, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was strange. That wasn't real. There was no way. Because, I mean, the most honest person in the room, and in my opinion, the most educated and most spiritual person amongst, the staff of Church on the Rock, like, he just stood there like a rock. Like,
was it at the Dream Center?
That was at Church on the Rock.
The South Campus?
South Campus.
Ever since that created
controversy, dude. People left. People started their own church after that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a church here that like started doing that type of like whoa, like out there type of. I forgot the word for it, but they're just exaggerated with their just like, whoa, I can literally speak and your legs will be healed.
Have you ever heard anybody speak in tongue?
Yeah.
Is it weird?
It's interesting. Yeah. It's definitely strange.
Was that the Church at the Rock too?
Yeah, it was definitely there. You heard a lot of it. You heard a lot of it randomly, like somebody, like he would be talking, and then like some random person, dude, randomly would just be like, I mean, it's weird. In no way am I mocking it, because I don't know what's happening, but it's just awkward to hear them like, like just like do it. And it's always mumbling, and it's always just the fast motions of your tongue, and so they do it on their natural, like whatever they want to do, but it's random. And I honestly believe that they're just so in tune with like their themselves. They're just like closing their eyes, being in it, that psychologically like they want to be vocal, but they think in their heads that they're talking to someone, and they're just letting it like out. You know what I mean? Because I personally don't think that it's real, but I do believe that you can be in such a state that you believe it, that your mind will make you just mumble because you think you're talking anyway, you know what I mean, saying something, but it's just a natural thing to do. Like if you're not saying actual words, it's really easy to just like with your tongues and your lips.
Like it's not even like you can't even like tell if it's like a old like a dialect or something.
No, it's nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Man, I was
like that sounds nothing like a language. It is very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Translative. No way.
Really?
Yeah, you can't translate that. In the Bible, it even says you're not supposed to even talk in tongues unless you have a translator there. Well, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird.
I don't know. I've never seen or heard anybody speak in tongues.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying.
That would be weird to me.
It was interesting. First time I ever heard it is at a church camp. Like, it used to be heavy. It was the only and first and only church camp that I've ever been to, ever. And it was like, man, I want to try to think what grade it was. It had to have been 6th going into 7th or something. It was weird. They had a pool. We did our own thing, like scavenger hunts and awkward shit. But, yeah, there was one moment where it was kids, dude. It was like junior high to high school kids. Literally in the same scenario that I told you about at South Campus. Yeah. Just like that. And there was half of the room freaked out looking around like, what is going on? And then the other half of these kids who have probably been around it, in my personal opinion, like they're at a church camp, half not, like half just trying it out halfway. They've always grown up in it. Their parents have taught them this. So they've seen that kind of outgoing, like, of trying to be spiritual and talking in weird ways and falling down and stuff like that. So I believe that, yeah, I mean, dude, it was interesting. There's a weird part of me, and I've been trying to dig in, but there was a weird part of me that I have no idea went on there. Like, I'm just like, my friends are falling.
It's like, what's wrong with the kneecaps? They just keep falling. I don't know. It's like I've never, like I said, I've never seen or been a part of any of that, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't even have an opinion on that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I can give an opinion like from afar, not being a part of it, but I mean, other than that,
Well, I mean, that's what I want those opinions. Like, what do you think? Because I want to get your perspective from completely being outside. You know, what do you think is happening? What do you think is like? Why do you necessarily think like? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it, or is it just like a Zen state where they're just like are letting it out there, and you know, you put God as the mentality, but it's really not? Or do you think it is? I don't know.
I think for me watching like documentaries and stuff and seeing that like some of them are just fake. Like they pick out, like, say if I was a preacher and I picked you out, we know each other, so you kind of know what's going to happen. You know, I touch your forehead, you fall, you say you get healed, you don't have cancer anymore. Mm-hmm. So me never being a part of it and watching stuff like that, it's more like a magic show, I would say.
Yeah, man, dude, absolutely.
And like I don't know if you felt like that, but like I would feel like
not in the moment.
Like this is neat, but like I don't know. I really don't know 100% what's going on.
Right.
I think that's how I would feel.
Definitely not in the moment. I don't think that in the moment. In the moment, I was either scared because I was young. The very first time.
Yeah.
I was super scared. So I thought, dude, I will straight up admit right now that I did it on purpose. Mm-hmm. I literally walked up there, like we had to stand in a line, and like people were, dude, all these kids were fucking dropping, dude, just like hands, like people were falling. So I went up there, and of course, like I was, dude, my anxiety's running, my blood's boiling, I could probably feel myself shaking. You know, you think it's okay because you've always been taught that Christianity and everything is a beautiful thing. So you go up there in line, literally just walking in line to fall. So I did it, dude. I totally did it. But I can honestly say, going back, and dude, I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm a young kid who has no idea, no opinion, with outside sources coming in, outside stress and all that. Like, dude, I'm not going to be different. Honestly, I wasn't going to be different, and I just fell. Mm-hmm. And so, but then going into the older state, no way I'm going to like fuck around with that. But then, you know, I was also in a mentality of trying really hard to be in it, like in the
like you want to be a part of like the whole group thing,
right? But
I've been there because I've had a buddy ask me to go to like his youth when I was maybe like a freshman or 8th grade, somewhere around there, and I'd go with them, and they would do the whole worship, and I would like look around because I never got into that part, but I would see people like with their hands up, you know, with their heads down, crying, praying. And I was like, I really don't know what to do because I didn't feel that way. So I would like put my hand up and like just put my head down and just kind of thinking like, when is this, like, when do I get to put my hand down?
Right.
Because I was never into that. So I just kind of just want to be a part of the group just so everybody be like, well, what's wrong with this guy?
See, and I understand that. And I love how it's awkward because there's like I get it, but then in the moment, I don't know how to explain it. Like you being on the outside, almost envious because you're able to look at it, you know, from a completely like objective person, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like type of scenario where you're just, this is kind of strange, but you're going along with the flow. Like I get it, you know, it's human nature to go on the path of least resistance. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just going to immediately amongst the congregation yell, why the fuck y'all putting y'all's hands up? You know, you're not going to do anything crazy like that. You're just going to go with the flow. That's okay. But, oh wait, where was I going with that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not in your head.
That's fair.
In your head. But,
oh no, you just putting your like hands up in the moment and stuff like that. Like, saying on my side of it. That's your side of it. But on my side of like, I thought I was really in it.
Yeah.
And so doing that like worship and stuff, like it's cool to think in my mentality now, like going, hey, I at least had those like, you know, those moments of kind of blissfulness and just like letting go, like in my head of my problems. But it was never, and truthfully, it was never to really get close to a specific thing, or like it was just trying to better myself always. It was always bettering myself. It really had nothing to do with any, technically, you know what I'm saying, over
like
the
higher
head. Yeah, like a higher thing. It was just like, dude, I got to be better for me, but not technically me, for like the world, for people, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be an ass, but this is the way I've been taught, you know, I'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
So like putting your hands up and going to, because I've had Church of Christ, Baptist, obviously being in Catholicism, being confirmed and doing that whole shenanigans, but then growing up cowboy church, non-denomination. Like there's some.
Is that what Church on the Rock is? Non-denomination?
Yeah.
That or it's Baptist?
No, it's non.
Is it non?
Yeah, it's non-denomination.
Well, I thought
Eventually,
only,
you
Baptists
kind of
did,
have
baptisms.
No, technically everyone does
Because
baptism.
I thought Catholics did what's it called? You got to go through something. I can't remember what it's called.
What do you
Like it's like a baptism, but it's like the Catholic version of a baptism.
Well, they get baptized. You have to have certain sacraments, like in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, well, I just thought everybody. I just thought Baptists did baptisms. I may be like ignorant on this whole subject.
No, you're good. No, Baptist in itself, I think that like being baptized is the universal religious thing of being cleansed, but you're doing it in a spiritual, like physical form, going in water. You're coming up reborn. That's the whole thing. But in certain denominations, people argue: do you have to be baptized to be saved? Or do you have to be baptized as a child first to get rid of mortal sin? Or do you have to be baptized later to completely cleanse yourself and be, worthy of God?
Yeah.
Like there's so many scenarios that people argue with. Baptists, I think that you right when you're baptized.
Christening. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's like their form of baptism, isn't it?
I think that's when the
Catholic,
kids,
right?
When the babies get.
I don't know. I personally don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but I think the christening is when the babies get baptized.
Okay.
And so a lot of people,
it's just a different.
That's why
just
Catholics baptize their babies, because they think you're born with automatic mortal sin.
Okay.
From the beginning of age of like Adam and Eve creating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like wrong, whatever. Like that's what baptizing your baby is for. Okay. I heard this. There was I am currently dating someone that told me they have a Church of Christ experience. And she said that they had a questionnaire growing up that the congregation had to write. They asked a question about this guy. Oh, no, it was about that movie, God's Not Dead. Have you seen that?
No, that's the one with the...
It's super cheesy.
The Duck Dynasty daughter, isn't it?
Maybe.
I can't remember, but
I can't remember.
I think I've heard of it.
It's just one of the cheesy religious films, you know what I mean? The kind of just bad acting and want to have a good story or somehow.
Yeah.
But anyways, they had a story about that, and they had a debate literally amongst the church during one Sunday. They said, "Hey, we're all going to watch this movie." They watched it, and then they said, "Write down if you think," because what happened is the scientist, the professor, don't say scientist, the professor literally died at the end, but he got an opportunity to confess his sins and like say Jesus is my savior and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that it was like a message of like, it doesn't matter how much you not believe and how much you can talk shit right at the moment of death, you can be saved and forgiven. Well, they had a debate there, and people had to say like, hey, in that movie he confessed, do you think he went to heaven? In this church that she went to, and most everyone put yes, and the preacher straight, or whatever he's called, and they all agreed with him afterwards, but he said no, because he was not baptized. That was Church of Christ. See, he said he will not be in the pearly gates. That professor who...
Just because he's not baptized?
Because he's not baptized. And I'm telling you, there's word dogma, there's word differences in different denominations, man.
I don't know. I don't know your looks on religion, whatever. I'm like, I believe in a higher power, but I don't think you need to like go through hoops maybe as like baptisms. I don't know if that's considered a hoop, but like I don't think you need to do anything special, but be a good person.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what would get you into heaven. Now, if there's heaven or hell, that's beyond me. I don't know.
Right.
Like, I believe in a higher power. I don't know, I mean, what it is, but...
No, I see what you're saying. I am not opposed to the idea of there being an omnipotent, like, ultimate
Like,
being.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a head dude in charge.
Right. But I don't think that... I think there's too many flaws with... There's ultimate truths, like there's, universal truths within religion and different dogmas that you can say. I mean, going back from like primal times, like there's always been a hierarchy. Mm-hmm. People always look towards a leader. People want to follow. People want to go, like I said, to the path of least resistance, but then also realize that doing good or having a positive mindset and wanting to move forward, that is resistant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, somewhat mirrors and correlates with like religion being like Christianity, but also like Judaism and trying to find the wrongs in yourself, whether you're talking about like Buddhist or Hindus, you know what I mean? Where it's all like inner self, you know what I mean? Inner demons and outer type of whatever. But I don't know. I question myself to the day. I don't stress on it for sure because I love like the now. I'm trying to, that's what made me a better person, of just like in the moment trying to think of and not really necessarily thinking about what's going to happen after I die. And that's definitely made me, in my personal life, made me a better person for sure. Not worried about like the do's and don'ts and he might be, he might not be, or heaven, hell. Like I don't believe in heaven and hell. For sure. I think that's just not, I just can't really fathom that there's a perfect place. Literally a perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because what is perfect? You know what I mean? Your perfection might be completely different from my perfection.
Well, maybe that's it. Heaven is just.
Oh, like just me.
Yeah, maybe
like
it's
I'm
just,
my own heaven.
Maybe it's like
so
whatever you think is perfect. Like maybe
that's intense. That's cool.
Like a burger, medium well, the cheese slightly melted, not really. That's your heaven.
Keep it going.
Yeah, like maybe that's what that is. Like nobody, I don't know if anybody's ever thought of that, but it's just
maybe dude. That's a great perspective, though. That's a great perspective. Like when you die, like, but then that's also weird because it's like I'm perceiving my perfection. So but then again, what about some weirdo? Like, what's his perfection? You know what I mean?
That's on him.
I would hope that there's not a perfection for a weirdo, like that's thinking about like. You know what I'm trying to say.
Like
I'm not trying to go into
Jason
detail.
Voorhees weirdo, or like the Michael Myers.
I like
Michael Myers.
I think Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers are both great people, just misunderstood.
But they can walk really fast. They're probably like their walk is Usain Bolt's sprint. I think because I've seen them in movies. They're always like 10 steps behind the person sprinting.
Are you a horror film guy?
Not really.
Oh,
they like once I grew up. I think all the horror films now are just like trying to get you to jump, and I think that's really about it.
Lack the
like the Chuckies. I was real big into Chucky, like the Jason Voorhees. They tried scaring you, like they tried instilling fear.
Dude, there was some. Hey, okay. Speaking of Chucky, before football season has started, but on ESPN they have high school games sometimes. Like at the beginning of the season, kind of like a preseason, like, hey, these high school kids are supposed to be fucking amazing. Like, well, they had Hoover on. Hoover's a school in Texas. And apparently the opposing school. Okay, well, I'll tell you the beginning. What happened is the entire sideline of Hoover, they were holding up Chucky dolls. Me and my friend were watching this game. And they're holding Chucky dolls up on the sideline.
Why?
Exactly. They got interviewed, and they were like, why are you holding up these Chucky dolls? That's weird.
That is
like
very
it's
random.
A football game. And they said, well, this game was planned to be on ESPN. We're in high school. We know that this game is going to be on ESPN. They decided to go on Twitter, go on everything, and start saying that Hoover is child's play. We want to let them know that we don't play games. And so they literally brought Chucky dolls, and every drive, every touchdown, and everything, Hoover would just bring up. Dude, not even like yelling and stuff, really scary, would just hold up those fucking Chucky dolls.
That's very random.
Dude, it was random, but they said, hey, we're Child's Play, which is, you know, a reference to like Chucky. And so they were like, we want to let him know. Dude, they were not kidding. Hoover, the team that was holding the Chucky dolls, dude, I probably left the house, left the game at halftime, and they probably were winning like 48-0.
Wow.
Like they were whooping, dude. And they were honest. They were like, oh, that's cute. You want to say we're Child's Play.
Yeah.
So these crazy dudes brought out Chucky dolls and then destroyed them.
Dude, do you know how much a Chucky doll is?
I can imagine. I'm sure there's different types.
Like, I remember the ones I remember seeing at Spencer's with like the
like a real ass, like a what looks like, you know, like what I mean, like a replica.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think those were like $80.
Dang.
With just 10 football players, that's like $800.
The most memorable Chucky movie I have is Bride of Chucky for sure. Seed of Chucky was dumb but funny, but Bride for sure. I remember the only reason I remember that is because there's this one scene, and it was one of the darkest scenes I've ever seen. But it's that one guy because what's her name? He turns a certain girl into the bride.
I don't remember her character name, but I remember the actress name is Jennifer Tilly.
It is Jennifer Tilly.
Her name actually may be Jennifer in the movie.
I think so. But her boyfriend had like lip piercings, right? Like had eyebrow piercings and lip piercings. And dude, Chucky like tied him up to the bed, pulled out all his piercings, and then literally sat on his like face with a pillow. I was like, oh.
Her name was Tiffany.
Yes.
I remember that.
Dude, that part, because I was young when I watched that. And dude, I had watched so many scary movies before, but that part.
Didn't the boyfriend die and she just like sleep beside him? Or something like that?
I don't remember, but they were having a conversation. He was literally, the pillow's on his face. He's sitting down and he's talking to Tiffany. And dude, you can see his arms shaking that whole scene. And you get into the conversation, but then if your like periffs just go off a little bit, you can still see his hand shaking. And it looks like maybe minutes. And I just remember when I was a kid only focusing on how bad he was shaking. But I was like, dude, get off his face.
If you think about it, I mean, there's no telling how heavy Chucky is. I wouldn't think he was like heavy enough to where you couldn't like just shake him off with your head, though.
But he was all tied up in general.
But like, it's just your head.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, like that's a heavy doll. There's some
realistic to be super
doll.
heavy. Like,
heavy
maybe
enough.
Maybe he took off, or he took like the weight of like a human when he became the soul went into the Chucky doll.
That's also a big ass doll. I mean, it's like almost hip high. Chucky's tall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I wouldn't know. I don't know, man. Anyway. I still want. It's like a big old Cabbage Patch doll. Like he's just a stuffed doll. I don't think he'd be that heavy to where you at least couldn't just turn your head.
Right, but he's also aware. Like he is a functioning, thinking thing. So you could probably put some weight down, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. But I do remember the Jennifer Tilly the Jennifer Tilly character, like they put the body in like a big old chest. And I remember her next door neighbor helped her load it in her car. It was very weird.
That's strange. I heard you and Kevin, y'all were talking a little Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dude, I absolutely love Dragon Ball Z.
Do you really?
I was all geeked out when y'all were talking about it, man.
Have you watched the new Dragon Ball Super?
I've watched a little bit of it. I watched a little bit of it with my friend Nolan, who loves geeking out on that with me.
Okay.
But he was like, I want to watch this so bad, like I'm not going to wait for the English dub. So he watched the entire series.
That's what I did.
Is it still going on?
No, I think it's Dunsky's.
It's Dunsky's now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the movie, I think.
All right. Well,
I think the movie comes out the English dub comes out in January.
Okay, so because they had Battle of the Gods, the movie, first, and then it led into the series.
Yeah.
So it was cool because you got to see Lord Beerus and stuff like that, like going into it, and I thought that was awesome. And I got all the way up into that championship thing, like where they had multiple universes and like all their best fighters, fighting. That was cool, but that's where it ended. I was like, man, I want to see this. Like when Toonami coming back, like they're gonna have Super on there. I was excited. GT wasn't a fan. I heard y'all talk about that.
GT
Screw
wasn't
JT. That was lame.
Man, I can't remember. There was an app I downloaded that did the Japanese dubs. That was for free, and then there towards the end of Dragon Ball Super, they made you pay for a subscription. And I did it like it was like maybe like $10 for a month. And then I knew at the end of the month, that's when the Dragon Ball Super was going to be over and done with anyways. But dude, that was a good ass. I enjoyed it.
There's an app that my nephew just sent me a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't checked it out. But he was like, oh yeah, every episode, all English dubbed.
I don't know. I haven't watched it since the Japanese is over.
Yeah,
what's it
I'm
called?
Just excited. It's called Super. Oh, the app.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look back.
Man, I can't remember because I have it on my PlayStation. I think. Orange Crush? No, it's not Orange Crush. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, we talked about that. We talked about. It's weird to me that I can do a podcast, and I've had. Not just you, but other people do it, and they'll like say, "Oh yeah, y'all talked about this," and I was like, "Okay, so people actually do listen to the pod." It's weird that people actually listen to podcasts. It's
it's
crazy.
Anything and everything you can catch.
Yeah,
like everyone's their own person. It's so easy to listen to a conversation. It's so easy.
Yeah,
like now that this one in no way like if we talked about anything crazy funny, like it's entertaining to us. But some people can like listen in and probably think like we were talking about religious stuff, or I rambled on. But some people could be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like one person just sparked their interest. You know what I mean? There's a billion things that can go on. So that's why I think these things are cool.
A ton of people listen to Kevin's, what's it called? Kevin's episode. I was like, damn, like. I don't know who all Kevin knows, but I know that one got a.
Hey, Kevin knows. Shout out Kev. Hey, what up, Kev?
Yeah, hey, share this episode too, Kevin.
Man, Tooth.
It's all about to be the end of the. But yeah, like a ton of people listen to his. I was like, damn, okay, I need it.
How long have we been going?
We are now at an hour and a half.
How you feel?
Good. I feel pretty good. Man, I forgot what. Are you into the Marvel stuff?
Dude, love it. Yep.
So you know what you watched Infinity War?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I thought you was about to say no.
Oh,
Have you watched the new Ant-Man?
Dude, loved it. Was way better than the first one.
I haven't watched it, but I know what happens. Mostly because I just Googled it and just to see.
No, that
what
makes
happens.
sense. No, as a movie itself, you're gonna be very entertained.
Really?
It was solid, dude.
Paul Rudd's a great actor.
They were allowed. Okay, so Paul Rudd and then his like friend who kind of starting the business with or whatever. He's been in a couple of movies. He's like a Hispanic dude.
Oh yeah, that funny guy.
Dude, they allowed them to be them in this movie.
Really?
So it was weird to see Paul Rudd as Paul Rudd, because in the first one I feel like they definitely kind of still pulled the reins back a little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, Paul Rudd and him, I hate that I don't remember his name, but both of them were hilarious, dude. Like rolling, like me and my girlfriend went to go watch it, and me and her were just dying. Like actually, like, whoa, this is funny. Like this is actually a funny movie.
I got a question. This has nothing to do with the Ant-Man thing, but I don't know if you heard about the Guardians of the Galaxy director.
With some tweets.
Yeah. What do you think about him pretty much getting let go by Disney? But because I mean I never thought of it, but I seen it on like an Instagram thing. But they kept Robert Downey Jr. because his past. Like Robert Downey Jr. was like,
compare the two because I'm unfamiliar.
Like like Robert Downey Jr., he was like an alcoholic. He did drugs and stuff, and like he went to prison.
Oh yeah. So this dude. Okay, so you're saying Robert Downey Jr.
Compared to James Gunn's tweets,
right? Well, okay. Well, the thing wasn't he tweeting about like child molestation and stuff?
I think so, but I'm not.
So the thing I think that went about it is the reason he got in trouble, and he straight up admitted it too. He was like, dude, no, I wasn't on Ambien. You know, like some people use excuses. Like he was honest. Like I tweeted that. That is disgusting. I am not going to deny it because I can't. Yeah. That was wrong of me, and I was way out of line. And because it was about like child abuse and like sexual things, like making very crude, unnecessary jokes. And when you especially just read it and you're not understanding the personality and like the way the cadence of someone saying a joke, you just read that and you're like, you're a sick bastard.
Like, oh wow,
you're right. So those were the tweets he got in trouble with. But Robert Downey Jr., it was all a self thing. He drank too much. He got into a little bit of trouble. You know what I mean? But it was for himself. He didn't do anything to other people. He wasn't making jokes. Now, I personally think it was just a tweet. He was trying to joke. Yeah. That's really messed up. I don't necessarily maybe you shouldn't lose your job. It's not like he was. You know what I mean? Like, this is just kind of blunt, but like if you touch a kid or anyone else, you know what I mean, by force, like, you should, like, the lowest, you know what I mean, of the low, you know what I mean, punish them at the highest. You're weird. You have something going on in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he just tweeted it, trying to make a joke, and he was just like, dude, that was bad. He admitted it. That's bad humor. I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have made those jokes. You know, where it was like, dude, you're an ass, but all right, I get it.
But what sucks, like, if he would have said it out loud, that's all it would have been. It would just been like noise in the air. But since he put it on Twitter and it just stayed there until somebody got bored one day and just happened to dig it up.
Yeah.
And then put it out, that's when he was like just screwed. Because nowadays you really can't say anything. Like, I know it was a joke.
Right.
But like, you really can't. You really have to watch what you say. Because otherwise you're just gonna.
Dude, I've thought about it for me. Like, I'm in no position where anyone cares about me at all. Mm-hmm. But I still think back, dude, I probably need to go over some old tweets.
Yeah.
Twitter is a different world. Don't follow me. Like.
Well, I don't. I had Twitter for a little bit, but then I ended up.
Dude, I love Twitter. Twitter, my inner just ass comes out. Just like, ooh, I just.
You're not like 50 Cent and just put people on blast, dude.
Every now and then, because I'm a boxing fan, bro.
50 Cent, he goes in on everybody.
Dude, I'm kidding. Follow. If you're into boxing at all and our music, then you can follow me, because I either praise or talk mad shit about both. I'm either like, this is the worst album I've ever heard, or the best.
Did you ever listen to the Book of Ryan?
Book of Ryan?
Yeah, that Royce of. Oh man, that's a great album.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? What do you think about Mayweather?
He's retired. I think it's okay. I have two opinions. Mm-hmm. One opinion is like, as being the real boxing fan I am, like wanting to see boxing and the culture progress, and you know what I mean, like just maintain its, you know what I mean, hierarchy amongst the physical, like, combat sports, you know. Yeah. I love boxing. But Mayweather himself, in one opinion, is like, dude, he's retired. Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's fresh. If you want to talk about all-time greats, that's fun and that's fine. But he's so recent where it's like he's retired and he still tries to stay relevant here and there. I understand he has his own promotions and stuff like that. But other than that, it's like,
But when he was boxing, moving on. What'd you think about
him? But that opinion as a fighter, the best defensive fighter of all time, no matter what. No hands down. Ridiculous. People can talk shit and say he runs, he ducks, he shoulder rolls, he does that. That's the art. That is the beauty of it. It's to not get hit and hit. Guess who didn't get hit? Mayweather. Guess who's not going to have brain trauma when he's 50? Mayweather. But guess who also has one of the craziest, like, statistically one of the most just badass, like, punching rate. Whoa, that was weird.
That hit hard.
That mic. Punching ratios. Like, you know what I mean? Or, like, yeah, like, of hits and misses and stuff. Dude, that was loud.
Yeah, that scared the hell out of me.
Punches.
I don't know why it hit
That
hard
hit
like
hard.
that earlier, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
But anyways, sorry. Turn down the mic. I'm talking. No, put it away. Yeah.
But
Mayweather as a fighter, best defensive fighter of all time. I'm more of a hardcore Russian or Mexican background, just going at it. That's always fun. But I do like the skill. I do like seeing people just like make people look a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Like where they just move, boom, 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 boom. Like this dude throws 10 punches, but he only landed one, and then pop just gets rocked with like 1, 2, 3. And seeing the hope come out of people's eyes where they're like, I'm not good enough. Like, I almost like seeing that, but it's not crazy. That's the whole sport of it, you know? Yeah. It's a chess game. And when you see someone slowly break down where they're like, man, like I just don't have enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool to see. I love the whole chess game. It's all about matchups. I can name one fighter who will beat this guy. That guy will beat another guy. But the first guy would probably lose against the third. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, boxing's so much fun. Combat sports in general. I'm not a fan of UFC. I haven't got into it, but I respect it. Like as an art form, freaking to the moon.
Yeah, I mean you can't. Is can't a word?
Can't.
I think that's a Texas thing.
Can't.
You can't not. You cannot. You can't not. Is that? I don't know. You cannot not.
You can.
I'm gonna go forever. You can't not respect you. They take.
Oh yeah.
They take some damn.
Yeah, man.
Hard ass hits.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, boxing. I always thought I have a love hate relationship with Mayweather. Like you said, technically he's up there, but he's a boring ass fighter to watch. Except against the when he fought.
That's fair. Hey, that's very fair to say though.
Who did he fight last?
Shit.
McGregor. Like I never
God.
noticed. Like that dude's got some. I've always seen him like kind of duck, dive, move. But he actually went on the offense against McGregor.
Well, that was the whole point. Like that's what. Okay, as a boxing fan and as a person who always looks outside. Okay, I'm a boxing fan, but I also realize that there is a aspect of theatrical times in it. The main thing that you can compare it to is like WWE. I'm no way they're the same thing, but I'm saying the theatrical thing of being physical and creating a storyline and creating like intensity where the fan enjoys. Every match that goes in, it's either a crush of WWE talking. It's either a mad crush where someone's just like getting destroyed, or it's the closest match that you've ever seen. Always like it's just like whoa. In that, you're bringing a dude, McGregor, who went in, who was throwing, like, ghost punches. They were just like, blah, blah, like, they weren't really hard. So Mayweather went in there. You know what I mean? He knew he wasn't going to lose. He knew that there was no way that he was even going to knock him out. He did not have one power punch. McGregor, I watched that fight I lied. I watched it twice. Because it was a joke. It was a joke. I was actually honestly upset with that fight.
You think it was more of a stunt?
That's exactly what it was. That wasn't a real fight.
Talking about that, did you hear about those YouTube stars that boxed? It's like Logan Paul and then some
Kimbo Slice.
No, Kimbo Slice is dead, dude.
Yeah, but he was. Well, he was a YouTube star fighter.
Yeah, that's true. But this happened recently. It was like Logan Paul that got in trouble because he put out like a video with like the at the suicide forest or whatever it was called over there in like Japan or something. And then it was I don't know, some other YouTube star. But anyways, they ended up in a draw. And I was like, I mean, I didn't watch the fight because I was like, this is gonna be whack. Because I didn't really care about either one of them. Mm-hmm. But they ended up in a draw, and I'm like, like that's cool, I guess, because they made their money. But like the fans, I would feel like the fans would want like a winner.
Dude, there was a couple fights ago in boxing. There was a heavyweight fight, and I forgot the names. But there was some controversy amongst pay and promoters and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this promoter said, "There's no way out of this fight. You're fighting." And he was like, "Dude, I wasn't promised that. Like, I was promised completely like a different pay or whatever." And he was like, "Well, you're not quitting this fight." And he was like, "What do I got to do to get this money?" He was like, "Dude, you walk in there." He was like, "All you got to do is fight a round. Hear that bell go in." You know what I mean? Like, trying to do that. Well, this dude, out of spite in front of, like, the promoters, the ring, everyone, both of the opponents, ding, 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 right when the first bell rang, he looked at him, turned around, left, didn't say anything, just got out of the ring and walked back to the dressing room. Boom, got paid. He was like, no, because there was so much controversy. He was like, I'm not supposed to fight this guy. 2, I'm supposed to get better pay. Now you're going to lower my pay. I don't know him. He could literally probably kill me. Yeah. You know what it means? There's some crazy matchup, you know?
Because it's like a football game.
It is.
Because you watch tape.
Except you can choose your own matches. That's the whole aspect of it. Yeah.
But I mean, like say I choose to fight you, like I would watch your film. I would train. Was it like 6 weeks? They get to train, or 6 to 8 weeks? It depends.
Some people do. Literally, I've seen people do 6 months to a year. Like,
but like it's. I mean, oh damn, that's a long time. But
on some people, yeah, sometimes you get like this.
I guess
crazy
that quick turnover.
3 to 6 weeks notice.
Yeah, and you got to watch film. I mean, it's just like
real quick and easy. And this
it's like a football.
No, I'm not gonna do this. And he was like, I'm going to risk my career, blah, blah, blah. So he just ding, 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 boom. I'll take the lower one. Disqualified, but yeah, I get my guaranteed.
Damn.
I know.
But shit. Damn, well, we're at an hour 45, bro. Yeah, we're at an hour 45. We've gone through many subjects.
This is
cool for the first. Are we going to keep doing it here? Is that what you want to do?
Dude,
Is that cool? Or?
Dude, I absolutely would love this. It's fun. It's easy. It makes me feel, more open. It helps me listen, but also ramble like an asshole sometimes just to get thoughts out.
I didn't mean to agree with you. Like, I don't think you're an asshole.
Yeah, totally. I was understand, man. You're a dick. No,
I fucking hate you, bro.
Hate you, dude. I would love it. It feels good in here. It's chill. It's calm. I had me a little glass of 19 Crimes while we were in here. The Uprising. It's a red wine, aged 30 days in rum barrels, 15% alcohol. Really good. Not dry. It's pretty good mix.
I had some. I bought some wine. You know what? We just need to end it before we go on another tangent. So
I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Yes.
We should definitely keep doing it here.
Keep doing it here. I appreciate everybody for listening. Follow the podcast. Subscribe, press the subscribe button or whatever.
Boom.
And you got anything?
Yeah, I'll selfishly plug Flatline. Dude, first Friday, which is Friday, and then the following week on the 14th of September, make it to 5th and J in the Art District. It's going to be fun. We'll hang out. We'll jam out. Live music, cash bar, food trucks, all that. Post it. Follow us. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Flatline Records.
Everybody have a safe weekend.
Peace out. Be safe.
Y'all be good.
Love each other.
See ya.